Hi, hello, welcome back to the Adorable Knits Knitting Podcast. My name is Dorothy, the face and designer behind Adorable Knits. I live in Antwerp, Belgium, with my wonderful husband and our two little girls, Renee and Gabriella, and our two little cats, Max and Snickers. As promised in my last episode, I will try to make 1 or 2 knitting podcasts each month. And it has been 3 weeks since my previous one, so far so good. I was planning to make one last week, but then I got sick, as you might hear. My voice is still a bit... So yeah, I'm making it this week, and I apologize if I sound a bit weird, but it is what it is. I received so many lovely messages from knitters who saw my previous episode, and I must say I felt a bit overwhelmed in a positive way. It really gave me so much positive energy to continue making these videos. So yeah, it truly surprised me to see how many knitters actually took the time to share their thoughts and to give feedback and just talk with me. So it's pretty heartwarming. So this helps me a lot, to be honest, because as mentioned in previous episodes, I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone here. I'm an introvert, so doing these things is not something that comes natural to me. My father even said it to me last weekend. He had never thought that I would be doing these things. All the things I'm doing now, actually, because I'm not one to take risks normally. And I don't think I've ever taken a bigger risk professionally as I'm taking now. So yeah, big things are happening here. I'm feeling the pressure a bit, but it's a good pressure, because sometimes it's good to step out of your comfort zone and doing new things to grow. That's it. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm doing this to make successful business out of my adorable knits, of course, because I love doing this job and doing this full time, and I hope I can do this for a long time. So yeah, I've learned a lot since I'm doing this full time, which is now almost 2 years. There's still a long way to go. That's just reality, but that's also like the beauty probably of this craft, because you can keep on learning new things every single day. Yeah, so I'm doing this step by step, and by trying and failing sometimes, but also by little wins and sometimes bigger wins. So that's just, yeah, I wanted to share that with you, I guess. Anyways, thank you again for being there and for taking the time to talk with me and to share your thoughts. It really means a lot to me. So let's talk knitting now. I was planning to make what I designed in 2024 video first, but that takes a lot of preparation, and then I got sick, so I didn't really find the energy to go into that. And then I thought, well, I'll just make a video and share what I'm working on now, and talk about that. So yeah, if you still want to see what I designed video from 2024, then please let me know, because I'm a bit in doubt. Seeing it's almost March now, and then I don't know if the timing is still right. What do you think? Should I make one? Sure. Okay, so what's on my needles? 3 things at the moment, and the most important one is probably my ginger vest. I talked about it last time a bit. I finished my first sample. Bum, bum, bum. It is beautiful. So it's an FO and a whip because I'm already working on my second sample. So yeah, I always make 2 samples and sometimes even more. I start with the first sample to see how everything knits up according to what I designed and according to my initial plan and the way I graded it for my size. And if all goes well, I can just make a second sample in the same way, but then in another color or another yarn combo, which is always interesting for photos and like content creating, of course. But most of the time, the second sample is quite necessary to fine-tune some details, as with this one, of course. So I had a pretty frustrating week last week, as my initial ideas for the side details failed. It's just that it failed, and I wanted to add like ties to the side, maybe to have like a more romantic style maybe, but after trying the first one, it quickly became clear that it wasn't my kind of thing. And it didn't feel right, you know, because it was just in the way. I will add some B-roll here so you can see for yourself what I'm talking about. And then I tried like a fixed strap to join everything, but that didn't work too. So I was so frustrated. And then I decided to let it rest for a bit and then just take some distance of the project. And then that's always a good idea, you know, because sometimes the solutions just come. And I was in bed one of those nights and I was thinking about the details, which is what I do. You know, if I'm in bed, it's hard to shut down the yarn brain, I guess. And what works for me is reading. So I always go to bed early to read a bit and to shut down the yarn brain. But also good ideas come to me when I'm in bed thinking about yarn. And this is what I came up with. So I used a crochet hook to join the back panel and front. And I think it's so beautiful. And also this way you can choose how long you want the joining thing to continue. You could even like fix it entirely. I think it's cute. So that's a good thing. And the second thing I'm testing is this one is just worked straight, meaning you cast on using a tubular cast on, then work the hem in twisted rib, then you work the body with some increases at the back, and then you make some decreases at the armholes, and when you come to the top of the back panel, wait a minute, yeah, this one, you put the stitches on hold for the right shoulder and for the neck, and then you continue with the left shoulder, yeah, left and right, it's always difficult for me. So you then work the left shoulder and front, do the same for the right, you join, and then you make the body for the front in the same way but mirrored. So what I'm trying now is to incorporate some German short rows in like this section, because I think it will improve the fit even more. So I'm testing that because I'm working on my second sample. I'm right at the part where I will start making decreases for the arms. So when I've finished that, I can check it and then start working on all the charts for all the sizes and then write a pattern. It's gonna be a big one again, I think. So yeah, but I think it might work. It's just not easy to incorporate the German short rows in the cable pattern. So we'll see. If it's not working, it's not working, and then it's without. It's just this version, which works too. And I'm also thinking to add like a modification option for the body, because this one uses the increases and decreases. And maybe I'll just make one that's straight too, so you can choose which one to make, because you start at the back hem and then work your way up and down again. You need to decide when you start working the hem, so it's quite important. But I think I will add both versions to the pattern, so you can choose. And that way, if you do want to close like everything on the side, that's maybe more interesting, because it doesn't have a lot of positive ease, this one. So yeah, things to think about. So I need to finish this one ASAP. I'm already late with being sick and everything, but that's just the reality, you know. I have to take things as they come. But if I finish it and then work, I can write a pattern and then I can launch the call for test knitters. Yeah, I hope to release this one in spring, so that will be nice. That's the plan. Also, if you don't know it yet, because if you have been following me for a long time, you know this, but if you're new here, I don't do my call for test knitters via Instagram anymore. I found that to be very, very frustrating at times, because you rely on the wonderful world of algorithms, and sometimes, you know, if you do a call for test knitters and the algorithms are not doing their job, your post just gets buried and no one sees it, and then you don't find the test knitters. So I decided to set up my own little test knitting system. And you can find a test knitting tab on my website with all the info. I will share it in the description box, of course. Basically, this means that you can join my test knitting community, and with every new test knit, I send out an email to everyone who has applied to become a member of my community, and then you receive the email with all the info, the deadline, yada yada yada. And then you can decide if you want to join or not. There's always like a little link, and then you have to reapply, of course, for that specific test knit. But it works so good. I'm very happy with this system. And I think more than 1,200 knitters from all over the world have joined already, which is crazy and which makes me so happy. So yeah, of course, seeing that so many knitters are already in my community, I still have to make a selection. So I still have to disappoint knitters. That's just, yeah, especially if you're applying for like the 3 to 4 most popular sizes. So many people apply each time. So I always have to choose. That's part of the deal. But I always work with like a combination of new knitters, so people I haven't worked with before, and my regulars, I call them. Those are people I've worked with so many times in the past already, and which then results in like a super fun and warm group of people, because the regulars like immediately make you feel at home, and yeah, it's so fun to have those groups, really. The chat group is always on Instagram, and it can get pretty chatty there, but you are never ever obliged to or obligated to participate. You can just be like the silent participant and read everything and let it be. So you do you, you do what makes you happy. It's there if you want to participate. If not, all good. So yeah, head over to my website if you want to join. If this sounds interesting for you, you are welcome. So I have to check my little thingies I prepared, because otherwise I will get lost. Oh, I haven't talked about the yarn, but I mentioned it last time. I'm using, I'll show you the yarn for the new sample. I'm using MAJO Garn again. So this is the honey alpaca and Pearl Mohair. I can't remember the names. Dusty blue, and something else blue. It's blue, but it's so beautiful, I think, in this color. I mean, look, it's gorgeous, right? And I really, really love the drape. I will show you if you can. Oh, look at that drape. It's beautiful. So yeah, I talked about the Ginger KAL in my previous episode. That's the reason I came up with this design, because I pushed myself into this by organizing a Ginger KAL, which is still running, and it runs until the 10th of March. Yeah, the 10th of March. And you can still join. That's good, right? Let me check. Yeah, 10th of March. So that day I will choose a winner between everyone who has shared a post on Instagram using the adorable Ginger KAL 2025 hashtag. And then you can win a gift card from MAJO for 100 euros. So it's a good one. You can get your hands on gorgeous yarn. So join us. So that's all about the Ginger Fest, I think. Yeah, that's all. Sorry for the chaos. I'm still a bit like, yeah, foggy in the brain from being sick. But I had to make the episode because next week we have a school break here in Belgium, and then I have my kids, and then it's another week, and then, you know, I need to do this. I need to get it out of my system. So while I was being frustrated about the Ginger Fest in those couple of days, my yarn brain tends to focus on something new and exciting, and something completely unplanned, and something I actually don't have time for, but the brain needs some distraction sometimes, and I've learned to go with the flow. So I accepted the distraction. And then, by the way, my ginger design was born in a wave of distraction, and my Gabriella tea too, so it works. I have to listen to the distraction wave. Anyways, I was craving something textured, but also something easy after all the Ginger and Gloria designs. So this translated into experimenting with just knits and pearls, or knit stitches and pearl stitches. So I went through all my stitch dictionaries and browsed Pinterest, and yeah, you know, just looked up different kind of things, and then this happened. Wait, no, it's this side. I don't know if you can see it. So I love it. I just love it. And then I'm trying some new things here, but it's still like a work in progress. Yeah, you can't really see it that good. I will maybe add some B-roll. So, but then I shared a post on Instagram, and someone commented on it that it reminded her of a sweater of another designer that's coming out right about now, I think from Rose Knitwear. And I looked it up because I didn't know what she was talking about, and she was right. She was just right. It uses the same stitch base, I guess, but she's using a 2x2 rib and I'm using a 3x3 rib. Anyways, so what gave me lots and lots of joy initially, now ended up in frustration again. And I was never planning on using just like this part, because it's this stitch pattern that she was talking about. I was always planning to like incorporate different repeats. I wanted to experiment with like the 3x3 rib and make it flow like a river. I don't know, it felt a bit like how my brain was working at the moment, at that time. But seeing her reaction made me a bit sad, to be honest. And so now I've stopped working on it because, yeah, it's just frustrating, you know? The last thing you want as a designer is that someone says you're a copycat. And just to be clear, she wasn't, this is not what the knitter suggested in any way. But recently there have been a couple of examples of this, and the thing is, and I can only speak for myself here, I almost never scroll on Instagram to protect myself, actually, because it's just too much for me. There's just happening so much on Instagram, and it's too much. And there are so many talented designers out there, and we all get inspired by the same things and by different things too, you know, but it's like a big mix of, you know, things. And sometimes that just results in similar designs, I guess, without even knowing this, you know. Also, the knitting craft is so old. It's a lot of, yeah, it's so old. I think it's quite impossible to be original, I guess, because there's so much already that has been done in the past. So as a designer, you look for interesting stitch combinations and textures and colors, and you interpret things in your own way, and you use little details to create something magical, I guess, because that's what knitting is, right? It's creating something magical, stitch by stitch, I guess. So when things like this happen, it always leaves me a bit sad, I think. You know, as a designer, you put so much work and so much effort and so much energy and time and love in every single design that you make, and we're talking about months of work for each single design. So yeah, and we all have our own writing style, and also we do our grading in a different way. You don't want to see how my grading sheets are built up, because I don't think that anyone but me can understand what I'm doing, really. But it works. So yeah, if your final design then looks a bit similar to another design, when it was completely unintentionally, of course, and you then get called a copycat, for example, it breaks your heart, to be honest. Yeah, I even know a very talented designer who went through this recently, and I know 100% that this was completely unintentional. You know, her final garment was something completely different, in my opinion. But that's months of work. You then need to I don't know, forget, to throw away. So yeah, we're working in slow fashion here. So each design takes up so much time, and then that's the reason you can only release that many designs each year, you know, because it takes so much time to make them. So if you look at it at this from a financial point of view, it's horrible, you know, because yeah, it's horrible. It's just work, months of work that are lost now. So the thing is, I'm just sharing my thoughts here with you. I'm being honest with you, and I know a lot of knitters know and appreciate how much time goes into every single design, and I'm very grateful for that. These last couple of weeks and months have been a bit weird. I must say, in the knitting community, there was like a lot of negativity, maybe. We've all heard about the online sharing, illegally sharing of patterns from designers, both big and small. I don't even know if my designs were on it. It doesn't matter. It happens. I know that it happens, but it's just heartbreaking, you know. And I'm not going into that here. We're keeping it fun. But let's just say that there are a lot of things happening that aren't really motivating for a designer. But I do my best not to think about it too much. And I try to focus on the good things and on all of you wonderful knitters who keep on supporting their favorite designers, you know, in different ways, of course, by buying patterns, but also by just being there, you know, by following them, liking the things they share, posting, giving feedback, just everything you do. So all those wonderful knitters who make this such a warm knitting community, it's a community I'm still very, very proud to be part of. So feel free to share your thoughts about this, because it was a bit heavy. I'm sorry, I wasn't planning on that. Sorry. So maybe back to this, the distraction project. I think I will continue working on it because it's something that gave me lots of joy, and it's a reflection on what I was feeling at that time. And this is just like the first start, so I know it will go in different ways, and then I don't even know what the final result will be, so let's see where this goes, you know. The main thing is it was giving me joy and it made me happy. So I'm not going to stop working on it. It's not the same as the other one. It's something completely different. It comes from my heart. So yeah, that's my opinion. What do you think? Okay, I have one final whip. I won't start rambling again. It will be a quick one. I'm making another, did I make a mistake? No. Lawrence hat. So cute. So this is my basic top-down 1x1 rib hat, and it has a double folded brim, and it's just so warm and squishy, especially around the ears, which I love. And I'm making this one as a birthday gift for my father, who just turned 73, and me being me, I was late with his gift. Sorry. But that way he got to choose his own color, which is good, right? So I'm using this Cashmere Dreams and Cashmere, was it Premium from Lang, in the most gorgeous. Oh, I'm obsessed with this color. It is so good. Yeah. Now I want one myself in this color. So anyways, I'm gonna finish this ASAP and then give it to him so that he can still use it this winter, not next winter. So yeah, it's gonna be super squishy and soft and beautiful. So that's all for my current whips. I also have a couple of acquisitions to show you. Oh, I forgot to mention something. The yarn for this one, I'm using Regina from Lang, and a hand-dyed silk mohair. Can you see it? From Sysleriget. I don't know how to pronounce it, sorry. This is the color Falling. This one was gifted. Thank you, Lang. This one was in my stash for so long, and now I'm happy to pair it with this. And I think it works quite good. Yeah, you can't see it that well on camera, but it works. But acquisitions, so I went to Wally Wonka, my local yarn shop, last weekend, and I bought it's gorgeous and it's so soft. This is Eco Cashmere vintage from MAJO Garn. I wanted to try this for a long time already, and now I just bought it, and I think I will make a shawl or a scarf for my father. It's not matching. First I had that one, then I saw this one. I don't know, maybe he just gets the new scarf and then I get to keep the hat. That's an idea. We'll see. Nothing specific yet. Something textured, something different, something I don't have time for, but I'm still gonna do, I think. Maybe. We'll see. And if not, next year. We'll see. So that's that. And then something very exciting. Can you tell when I talk about yarn that I get so happy? Last year I designed the Grace tee with a crew neck, and I used hand-dyed yarn for one of my samples from Walk collection. I think I already mentioned in my previous episode that I want to make Grace tee with a v-neck, and I'm gonna work with a Walk collection again. They were so kind to gift me the yarn for my samples, and I can share it already because one of the colors is a new color that they haven't launched yet, but I can share it already. So first of all, I'm gonna make one without stripes in this color. So beautiful. This is cornflower. I don't know if this one is a new one too. Could be. I think it's so beautiful. Then I'm gonna make a striped version too in these two beauties. So that one is, this one is succulent and this one is oranje. You know, last year I made the ones with the lemon and lime, like almost I don't know, super bright yellowish color and sand. It was so beautiful. This one is going to work so good. Oh, now you can see it better, I think. This is probably better. Yeah, okay. So that's that. And that's all, I think. What's coming up? I have a pattern release this Friday, February 28th of Pom Pom, my heart warmer vest. Talked about it in the previous episode, so check that one out. And the Joe sweater, my first sweater design for men, is coming out early March. I think I'm going to try the 6th of March, but I don't know if I'll make it because school break. We'll see. If not, it will be the week after, so early March. And then I will also start working on the Gloria sweater v-neck, probably first Grace tee. I don't know yet. And I also want to make a gray sweater with a v-neck actually. Maybe with that hedgehog fibers tweedy, the black one with the cashmere. Also showed that one in the previous one. That could work. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. I don't have that much time. First Ginger. So if you want to join my test knitting team, go to my website. I think that's it for now. My voice is saying it's okay now. So yeah, I will do my best to come back here in a week or two. I'm going to the big fair, HH, in 2 weeks, so looking forward to that. I don't know if I will make some footage there. Probably not. I tend to forget it when I'm in the... We'll see, maybe some snippets. So yeah. Thank you for joining me again. I'm sorry for all the rambling. I hope I wasn't being too dramatic about certain things. And if you do think so, well, it's okay. You're free to think whatever you want to think about it. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, don't forget to like my videos, subscribe, doing all the things that make me happy. Okay. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're working on things that make you happy. And let's see what I can talk about in 2 weeks or something. Bye. Happy knitting.